Here's Gavin Newsom, who's now, I don't know, kind of found time in the middle of all this to get on a podcast called Pod Save America to explain things. Listen.
Of course. I want to know the answers. So I'm the governor of California. I want to know the answer. I've got that question. I can't tell you about how many people, what happened. My own team saying what happened. And I want to get the answers. And I'll be candid with you, I wasn't getting straight answers.
Yeah.
I watched the press conference. I met with some of those leaders. We had my team start talking to local leaders, saying what's going on. Our state,
and you weren't getting straight answers from
I
the
was
local
getting
leaders.
different answers. And so for me, that's not a story. When you start getting different answers, then I'm not getting the actual story. And they're assessing it. And I get that as well. You have to a little bit of grace, back to the point. We're in this emergency environment and everything else. So I just want to determine the facts. But no one has any patience anymore. In this weaponized, back to the grievance of Trump, everyone else. There's immediacy. And lies travel the proverbial world. And it's hard to get the facts out there unless you have the backing of those facts, and you can communicate them soberly. And so that's what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, there's immediacy because people's homes are on fire.
Right.
Their neighborhoods are on fire. And the idea that he's going to talk like this didn't just start yesterday. As you're pointing out, this started weeks, months, years ago with policies that they've put into place that have made all this so much worse. And it's kind of astounding, or I guess not with him, to watch him, try to, his first concern right now seems to be covering his tail and trying to blame Donald Trump.
Yeah, and he, by the way, is playing the blame game right there as well. He's saying, I can't get straight answers, which may or may not be true, but don't act like you have some moral authority. The other thing that sticks out to me, because Rachel, you alluded, it's predictable. All this is all predictable. Yeah. It is a natural disaster, but it's predictable disaster. And his nemesis or his rival, Ron DeSantis in Florida, deals with a different type of predictable natural disaster in hurricanes and handles it stellar. I mean, he does. DeSantis in Florida shows how you can be competent and minimize natural disaster. This is the opposite. This shows how you can exacerbate natural disaster.
You know, it's interesting. People are attacking Gavin Newsom because he's been putting out these little videos on his X site or his handle, his governor handle, showing him doing stuff. And the angles, he just looks like he's posing. He's posing, and he looks like so good. It's like, I've never seen Ron DeSantis do anything like that. I've never even seen Donald Trump do anything like that. I mean, you have leaders who are, there to do the work, and then you have show horses, workhorse, show horse. And that's what you get there with Gavin Newsom. It's really astounding. And when you talk about the blame going around, the woman who runs the water management, it used to be a job that was paid $400 and some $1,000, which is still a really hefty salary. They decided to hire someone and double that. So she gets paid $750,000. And she's not building the reservoir. She's just managing the water, making sure the fire hydrants are filled. And she couldn't even do that. And at some point, and we have to talk about this, it's the leaders. Yeah. But you can't just assume that because you vote for a Democrat, because you like all these things, that the fire hydrants are going to get filled. You got to start thinking about who you're putting in charge. And voters have a role in this as well.
Yeah, it gets real quickly.